Let's jump right into this explainer by tackling a universal frustration. I mean, we've literally all been there, right? That overwhelming feeling that you're just constantly fighting against your own habits, your deepest fears, or those really stubborn limitations. Honestly, it can feel like this endless uphill battle against your own brain. But what if we've been looking at the whole problem entirely the wrong way? Seriously, if you feel like you're constantly at war with your own habits, what if I told you that the single, absolute greatest power to change your health, your wealth, and your happiness isn't actually some new trick you have to learn from the outside world? What if it's actually an operating system that's already running inside you right now, this very second, literally just waiting for the right code? So today we're basically serving as your technical manual. We're going to map out your mind's blueprint by covering 4 key areas: the master secret, conscious versus subconscious, reprogramming techniques, and finally, some essential guardrails. Section 1, the master secret. To understand how to reprogram yourself, you first have to understand the hardware you're working with, which stems from Dr. Joseph Murphy's concept of the miracle working power of your mind's dual nature. Just take a look at this labeled diagram here. It perfectly maps out your brain's architecture into 2 distinct halves. Over on the left, we've got the conscious mind. You can think of this as the reasoning programmer. It's objective, it uses your physical senses to analyze the surface world, and it makes all those day-to-day choices. But then on the right side, we have the subconscious mind. This is the vast, deep-level hardware sitting below the surface. It's totally subjective. It is the absolute seat of your emotions, your memory, and your creative power. Simply put, the conscious mind analyzes, but the subconscious mind creates. And that brings us to this absolutely crucial golden rule. Whatever the conscious mind assumes and believes, the subconscious accepts. Literally, this is the foundational law of your internal operating system. Your subconscious doesn't argue with you, it doesn't reason, and it definitely doesn't fact-check the data you feed it. It just blindly accepts whatever your conscious mind assumes to be true and immediately goes to work bringing it into physical reality. It executes your instructions completely without question. Moving on to Section 2. Reprogramming techniques. Now that we know exactly how the hardware works, let's look at 4 highly effective methods to intentionally send the right instructions to your subconscious mind. The first tool in our manual is called the passing over method. The whole goal here is to speak directly and authoritatively to your negative thoughts. But as we all know, your conscious, reasoning mind loves to argue and put up a fight, so this technique is specifically designed to sort of slip those positive instructions past the conscious mind when its guard is totally down. So to run this program, you literally just follow 2 steps. Step 1, lull yourself into a quiet, relaxed, sleepy state right before bed. You know, when your conscious mind is finally powering down for the day. Then, step 2, state a single positive affirmation with total quiet confidence. By using this near sleep state, you're directly overwriting those negative thoughts and passing the code straight to the subconscious execution layer. It's brilliant. Okay, that brings us to technique number 2, scientific imagination. Here, you get to act as a visual programmer. Instead of just stating words, your job is to form a vividly clear mental image of your desired outcome. But here's the trick, and it's a big one. You don't picture it as some far-off wish for the future. You have to visualize it as if it's already an established reality. It is completed code. But wait, here is the crucial missing ingredient that almost everyone forgets. Just having a clear picture in your head, it's not enough. Because the subconscious is the seat of your emotions, you must actually generate and feel the emotional thrill of the accomplishment right now, in the present moment. It's that present tense emotional thrill that literally forces the subconscious to accept the visualization as true reality. Which leads us perfectly into technique 3. This one acts as an overriding system command for your day-to-day life, and it's called the affirmative decree. This is all about establishing a really strong major premise to guide your daily actions and thoughts, basically creating a baseline rule that your entire system has no choice but to follow. Here's a perfect example of a powerful decree. Infinite intelligence leads and guides me in all my ways. The secret to this technique is repetition, but actually scratch that, not frantic repetition. You want to repeat a major premise like this slowly, quietly, and lovingly to yourself several times throughout your day. By doing this, you're laying down an unshakable baseline rule that your subconscious will strictly adhere to, subtly guiding your steps in the background. Our 4th and final technique is called absent treatment, And wow, it leverages a truly fascinating concept about our mental architecture. See, the subconscious mind isn't just some isolated hard drive stuck in your head, it's universal. Because of this, you can actually use your own hardware to hold space for others, essentially broadcasting a clear signal to help them, even from a long distance.
Here's exactly how absent treatment flows. Step 1 requires you to generate a deep, inner realization of health, peace, and perfection, entirely within your own mind. You aren't forcing anything on them. You're cultivating it within yourself. Step 2 is the beautiful result of that universal subconscious. The subjective reality you just created operates directly in their physical experience. You're quite literally changing their reality by perfectly coding your own.
All right, Section 3, Essential Guardrails. Before you rush off to deploy these 4 techniques, we really need to review this troubleshooting guide. As you can see mapped out in this table here, there are 2 primary traps you absolutely must avoid because remember, your subconscious takes everything literally. The first trap is negative phrasing. Never ever say things like, I can't afford it or I can't do this. Your subconscious will literally make sure you cannot afford it. The fix? Reverse those thoughts instantly. The second trap is dwelling on ailments. Giving your attention and fear to symptoms gives them incredible power over you. The fix is to ruthlessly remove your conscious attention from the illness and focus entirely on the perfection of health. Finally, you have got to leverage the sleep state. Think about it. Your conscious mind goes offline, but your subconscious stays highly active the entire time you're asleep. That makes those final, fading moments right before you drift off the most critical window of your entire day. Always feed it life-affirming thoughts as you fall asleep. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to remember this. Your mind's incredibly powerful hardware is always listening. It's constantly working in the background, rendering your reality based entirely on the seeds you plant every single day. The power isn't out there, it's in you, waiting for your next command. Which leaves us with one final urgent question to think about. What instructions are you going to give it tonight?